Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard. I'm TCaptainX. Today, we're going to cover 15 mistakes that people are commonly making. And if you correct these, you're going to see a ton of instant improvement in your game and skills when it comes to Call of Duty Warzone. The gameplay we're about to watch is a 20 kill game I had on Bondle that honestly, I made a lot of mistakes. I was in the blender, but we came through and had an awesome clutch at the end because I was able to correct some of these mistakes. So the first thing I want to talk about here is you really need to know and understand your drop spot. A big mistake I see a lot of people doing are just landing on rooftops or landing in the open. And I do that here because I end up seeing a personal loadout crate, but because I landed in the middle of the open at a contested area, I go down. I'm starting the game off already having a death here. So as we're redeploying, I'm trying to figure out, okay, where can I go? Because now I have a huge delay of trying to get loot. So I'm gonna go on the ground floor of one of these buildings here. And as I'm looting here, I've got this guy that comes in right away. Now, movement in Warzone 2 is obviously very different from Warzone 1 here, but don't be afraid to use it, especially in an emergency. Right now I have a Magnum pistol, I have a Basilisk, and then I also had just looted a shotgun. Both of these are slow shooting guns, so I need to try to utilize movement as much as possible to get out of this. So we switch to the shotgun, hit a shot, and notice how each time I'm taking a shot, because there's that slow fire rate, I'm moving a little bit and trying to force my opponent to miss shots. He had just a starting pistol as well, and you know, it's a harder gun to use because of how slow shooting is, but likely that movement I was giving him gave me just enough time to kind of get out of that situation. Now at this point, I'm finally able to actually get on the ground, start looting a little bit. In early game, when I'm looting, my goal was to get a few extra plates and find a kind of decent long range and a decent close range gun. So I've got a ground loot M4. It's actually a really solid kind of mid to long range gun. It's really versatile as well. So continuing to loot here. Now I am playing quads and I'm playing with random fills here. Normally, when I'm playing quads with random fills, I look to get $8,500 because I can buy both my guns and I can buy a perk package here. So a guy down below here. Now let's talk about this. You see his gun sticking just out of the behind the wall here, across the wall here. I see a lot of people make this mistake, and it's something that a lot of people have not learned all the way back from Warzone 1, is how you challenge people around corners. The majority of people are going to run all the way through this doorway, turn, and then shoot. Warzone 2 has very slow sprint-to-fire times, meaning the time it takes to go from sprinting to pulling your gun down. It's very slow. So it is absolutely vital that you start to aim your gun before you come around that corner. And you're going to see here, right as I get into that doorway, just before I cross that doorway, I was already starting to aim my gun in. Probably wouldn't have mattered. That guy was weak. I think he was in the middle of reloading or plating, but regardless, very, very important to do for all situations here. Now here, I've got several people across the street here, and notice how I'm not running out of the open being crazy. I'm trying to utilize cover as much as possible and shoot kind of from a safe area. Get 2 downs with the M4 here. And as I'm plating and reloading, this guy comes up from behind me. I don't have any audio cues. It is what it is. It's unfortunate. There's really nothing I could have done there besides maybe I sat in that area too long and I should have kept repositioning. But it is what it is. Some things are going to be out of your control. So again, we're redeploying back in, and I'm trying to figure out, like, okay, where can I land? Where can I get some loot? My teammates are all spread out. You know, we're all kind of random fills. No one's really playing together, and that's perfectly fine. So I come over here to get hit a random chest here. As I do see someone flying in, which I have an XR-13 pistol, so I'm not going to do much there. Just trying to figure out, okay, I need to get a little bit better mid or long range gun that I can go and fight with. So I'm pushing up, trying to find some loot here, when all of a sudden this guy that I keep fighting a million times comes right into me. Yet somehow I got ran over by the Hummer, and somehow it hit me and not him. I don't know why it black screens there, but the number 4 that I want to talk about is don't let yourself don't let yourself lose that mental battle. Warzone can be frustrating. Any video game can be frustrating. Some things are out of your control, and that's okay. One thing to keep note of in Vondel compared to Ashika is that the loadouts drop at when there's 1 minute and 10 seconds left from when the first zone is closing. So I'm able to go land on my loadout here. There's a guy coming right here. but we get this kill. Now, I want to break this down because I think this is important. I think this is a very small thing that a lot of you guys are not doing well. So I get high alerted and I turn around. I notice this guy is here. Watch how, when I start shooting, watch how my character, I'm strafing to the right, and then now I start strafing back to the left, and I'm jumping. A lot of you guys are not, you guys are just standing still when you're trying to shoot your gun. You're just stand still, shoot. There's a few reasons why you need to strafe. Number one, when you strafe, you get more aim assist if you're a controller player. Mouse key players, I'm sorry for you guys. I feel ya. Number two, when you're strafing, you are a more difficult target to hit. So when you're moving side to side, you're not a standing still, easy to hit target, and it's gonna force your opponents to miss some shots. Also, jumping while you're already aimed is very important because you don't want to jump necessarily always before you aim because of that delay, but when you're already aimed, you can jump, and again, it's gonna, if someone was aiming at your chest, now they're shooting your toes, which is gonna do less damage ultimately. So as I'm coming up here, I am hearing some footsteps and stuff around me. So notice how as I'm coming around the corner, my crosshairs, they're centered at chest level if an enemy is up there, and I'm pre-aiming a lot of these corners I'm coming around. I'm trying to check, I don't hear anyone, but as I come up, I was hearing footsteps here. Notice how before, I didn't even know if there was going to be a guy here, but I was hearing something, so I was anticipating, I was being proactive. So don't be reactive. I see so many people being reactive in their fights, and Warzone 2 still has a pretty fast time to kill at the end of the day. It's still faster than what Warzone 1 was. You have to be proactive in your fights, not reactive. We're able to get that kill, and again, I'm still kind of hearing some footsteps above me. So watch how I come around the corner and I'm already aimed at the top of the stairs where that person's most likely to be. And look at my health. My health was very low. If I miss one bullet or if I'm a half second too late there, I end up losing that gunfight. Now peek the minimap here. We do have two players pinging over here. So we are going to reload, replay, and we're going to work up here across here and try to figure out where these next guys are. I'm looking that direction. Now, I completely missed. I'm really bad about these. The occupation scan. It'll, in the top left, it'll be by your minimap. It'll tell you how much time until the occupation scan is. Make sure you prone and lay down for those. However, there is a guy below me on the minimap. Well, I don't know if he's below me technically, but I have to assume because I'm at the top of the stairwell. So again, notice how I am coming around very slowly and I'm pre-aiming anywhere he possibly could be. I don't know exactly where he is, but I know he's right below me somewhere. So we have the aim centered, and then bam, we find him. We're able to get the kill. And that guy did a lot of damage as well. That guy almost got me killed because he was kind of looking for me as well because I was on his map as well. So again, we had several pings above me at the buildings adjacent to me. So my goal here now is I want to see if I can get back up there and kind of get on level with them and get back in the fight. Now this guy, thankfully, I did come around that corner a little bit quickly. That guy, thankfully, was looking the other way, and I got a little bit lucky here. Check minimap. We've got two pings right next to each other here. And I ended up missing this, I think, because I think I checked the minimap, and I think I remember I thought I only saw one. They're so close together here. So as I come out here, I am taking my time. I reload before I go out, and I switch to my long-range gun. And I'm trying to just pre-aim and see if he's going to expose himself here. But what I didn't realize is that there were two. And when I go for the one that I think is an easy kill, there's one behind me, and then now here comes a third player. I have no idea where that guy came from, to be honest. Something I could have done there, I think, is if we go back here just slightly. And this is, it's small. However, I think I could have taken high ground there. So always, always, always take high ground when possible. A lot of people try to fight and keep an even thing. I think I could have came up and mantled on this, or even jumped on this ledge and then mantled up here, and it would have possibly gave me a chance to win this fight. It was a 1v3. There's still a chance that I just go down no matter what because I was unaware there were that many people. But again, when you have an opportunity, always try to work off of high ground. So as we're redeploying back in, this is going to be tip number 8 here. Do not just full send back onto your stuff or full send to the loadout here. My teammates are over here at police station. I died up here north of them. And there's no point in me full sending there because you can see there's all three and there's a fourth guy over here fighting right where I died. So I have to accept I'm not going to get my stuff. But if you remember, we opened that personal loadout crate here a little bit earlier. So I'm going to go grab this, but the game is going to say not today.
Somehow, when I grabbed one, it only let me grab one and the other one instantly despawned. Again, talking about that mental battle, Warzone has its flaws, certainly. You just have to roll with the punches sometimes. Try not to let it get to yourself. I do find a ground loot hurricane nearby, so that is going to work back here. Or work out for myself here. And I'm trying to loot. I'm trying to find plates, because I don't want to go into any fights being down a plate, which I do come up here and find a bunch of loot here. I'm also going to grab this guy's ground loot Lockman sub. It's a little bit better option instead of a ground loot gun. So looking at the minimap, there is a temp V icon up here. So I know somebody's in this area here. Didn't really know he was right there, but he ends up running right in front of me, end up getting kind of a free kill. But as we check the minimap, you're going to see there is a dot. It's hard to see because there's a lot of pink and red here, but it is blending in, and he's on my level across the roof from me. So notice how we're going to switch to my long range gun, and we're just going to pre-aim it. We get him cracked. Now, a lot of you guys play too patient. You either play too aggressive or too patient. This is a perfect opportunity of when you get an armor break, as long as you're not running yourself into the middle of the open and you're exposing yourself to other people, you have to go. You have to take advantage of that momentum and go. So we broke that guy's armor. He was trying to replay and run away. We never gave him that chance because we played aggressively and not patiently. Now I'm starting to get a shot of him across the roof, so I do drop down here into gas, and we're gonna have a guy super jump right in front of me. Thankfully, we do kill him. Thankfully, he didn't land too close to me. Now zone is still working in, and I have to keep working up here and get back up to zone, but I've got time. I've got time here, excuse me. And remember though, I was getting shot on the roof across from over here, so that's where I'm looking here. I'm looking down. Here's one. Hit good shots with attack feet, and we do get one down, but I have to go straight into the water. Remember that as long as that water is a few feet deep, you can dive straight in and you're not going to take any fall damage. And that was very important because if I pulled my parachute, I'd probably end up dying in that situation right there. So we're going to use the water, take my time, play it up, and we're going to take a different position. We're not going to challenge from that same angle. We're going to work around to the other side. And when I do, and I peek up here, here's these guys still haven't moved. We get one cracked, one down, and we do get the full kill. Very important there how that guy was on the ledge and I was able to get that full kill before he crawled off and was able to get revived. Now I'm trying to see, is this guy gonna peek? What's he gonna do? And he doesn't end up doing anything. Now, we are on the very edge of zone, but there's still 35 seconds until this zone starts to move. And I think the way the zone is, I would have had to go into the gas if I wanted to push up and push that guy. And it's probably not a smart push. So I'm just gonna be like, you know what? I'm not going to wait on this guy. I'm just going to go. Now, the one thing I was thinking at this moment is I was like, you know what? I have $24,000. I don't have my perks. I don't have my equipment. And I only have one of my 2 loadout guns. I was thinking I might go try to buy a loadout here. I did just see a guy on top of stadium here. But this is another small thing of talking about trigger discipline. If I shoot at this guy, even if I down him, it's probably not going to do anything because he's going to be up on the roof. He probably has teammates up there with him. He's going to get revived. It's kind of, this is just knowing where it's a bad fight. Don't take this fight. And that's okay. So again, we're going to keep working towards this buy station here. I'm checking to make sure I'm not getting looked at, but really no point in me pushing that. It is not a good fight. Now, I'm not going to run straight to the buy station. I'm going to go, we're going to keep looting a little bit here. Not that I really need to be completely honest. But the big thing that I'm trying to do here is get up to high ground and clear from top down. Remember, we talked about making sure always take high ground when it's possible. So I'm trying to check these rooftops and see, is anybody up here waiting? Because this buy station is right below all of these rooftops. There are some people landing in, but I don't see anyone in the direct vicinity. So I'm like, okay, we're clear. Let's buy a loadout, try to find a little bit safer area to throw it. The other thing I try to do a lot, guys, is when it is getting close to the respawn disabling, I am really big on buying durable gas masks. They are so important to be able to rotate and utilize and make gas plays. So I am just a huge component of trying to buy those. So UAV is going off and we do have a lot of people pinging up. I don't know if they're necessarily on the rooftops, but I know they're in this area here. So I'm expecting them to be up here. We get a quick high alert to the right, immediately get behind cover and check. And I'm trying to pre-aim. Where could have that be coming from? Is it through there? But then I see movement over to the left. Get a few shots on him, but he does drop down. Now, this is going to be the next thing, number 10. A lot of you guys do not use cover well. You don't play off cover well.
I had an audio cue that guy was coming up off the ladder, and notice how I just sat behind the cover and pre-aimed it. Very simple here. But we're gonna have another area where I really maximize using this cover. Is gonna be this kind of like plant box area here. So I don't know if you saw, there was a guy just ahead of me at this building over here. I come up, mount on that, get the heady. I'm gonna try to mount and hit those, but I am missing those shots here. Saw another guy just run over here, probably trying to revive him. However, now we just had a door slam open to our left. But notice how I'm behind cover, so I am protected from all areas in front of me. Now I can pop up, switch to my SMG. This guy has no idea I'm there because I was down below cover when I was plating and reloading. Now I still have this down from earlier. Remember we saw the guy that came across here that was probably trying to revive him. So I'm trying to get an angle without being overly aggressive here, and kind of bad timing here. As soon as I don't see them and I decide to make the push is right when they revive. However, thankfully, I am able to get that guy down here, and I'll go back just because that was a little laggy and stuttery here. So I'm waiting to see. We go. Bam. Thankfully, I get the down just with barely any health, and I was able to immediately hit a throwing knife and get him out of the way. That way I don't have to worry about him self-reviving or anything. Now, this is risky what I do here. I knew the other guy was the one that just got revived because that guy had plates, meaning because when you get revived, you don't have plates on. So I knew this guy is also absolutely 1 HP, just like myself. So I go in here and I pre-fire. He's not there, so it's all good. So I'm not going to push in and risk like a 1 HP type fight. I'm going to go back, reset here, and put plates on here. Now, my thought process is there's only one more guy up here. So I'm trying to go through and see where is this other guy. I don't see him. However, somehow I get a high alert. And this is where I kind of played this wrong. I'm thinking there's one guy out there and he's just waiting. And here he is. He's got a throwing knife out, which is going to miss. I get a few bullets on him and I'm like, oh, I'm good to go push. However, what I didn't realize at the time, and it's mind-boggling that I cannot see him, there is a guy right here in this green smoke, and you'll see it in the kill cam here in a second. It's crazy because literally he is not there on my screen, but he is there on the kill cam. And basically what happened here was, and this is number 11, don't fall for the trap. I pushed the most obvious route by pushing straight through there. I could have mantled up and came over. I could have tried to loop around to another side there, but instead I did the most obvious thing and I got myself killed because I also did not know there was more than one player there. Now, my teammate here, there was a portable buy station literally right there and he ran right by. I understand he's fighting, so that's all good. Let's kind of break down his POV here for a second. A guy ran in there, but I don't like what he does here. He runs away with his back turned to the fight. Now, I apologize because I had my mini map up here, but multiple times he is not looking at where they are. And if he would have got pushed during any of that time, he would have been a free kill to them. Now, I am pinging, when this is happening, I am pinging the buy station. I'm not trying to be annoying and spam it, but both teammates, he has 10K, my other teammate has 7K. They're by 2 buy stations. There's a portable right there. There's a whole team up here, though, because they just bought back. So I think they're at this point, they're like, okay, we can't go up there. We're getting shot. We're going to drop down. Now, he's going to go in here. He's going to put on plates before he runs out, and I think this is a perfectly smart play. But now, instead of going back to the buy, he's going to work back up to the top. Again, that's perfectly fine. He's going to work up high ground. Well, now he starts to turn back down. I don't know why he went up the stairs and turned back down. I think he should have, if he was going to do that, that's fine. He could have worked off high ground and cleared it. But eventually, he does make it to the buy. He's going to make the buyback here. Now, this is mistake number 12. Stop full sending your loadout, guys. Because this is exactly what I do, and it gets me killed. I run straight in. There's a guy literally right there on it, and I'm getting shot in the back at the same time, and I go down. However, thankfully, my other teammate is going to end up buying me right back here in just a moment here. So we are coming back here this time, and now I've learned my lesson. Okay, I've learned my lesson. We're going to float and we're going to look around here. I'm trying to look and see. There's a lot of people around here. I'm getting pings for my teammate. We only have one other teammate up at this point. I'm trying to see, is this loadout safe? Because I really need to get it. I need to get it to have a chance here in this end game. There's a guy going for the buy station here. Trying to, again, I'm trying to ping for my teammate, but he's fighting this whole other team up here. So I'm like, at this point, I gotta play safe here. We're gonna dive straight into the water. We're gonna kind of play just be the guy that's kind of out of the way and trying to avoid fights for a moment until I can get some guns.
See a guy coming up to the buy station, probably trying to make a buyback, and we are able to get that down here. Now, zone's moving in. Loadout's here. I know I need it. But as I go up here, I see a big stack of money, and I'm like, oh, I've got money for a buyback. I'm going to be a good teammate. We're going to buy one back here. Now I start getting shot. But zone is moving. I'm able to utilize this cover, prone behind it. So this is going to be mistake number 13. Do not panic in the gas. After the season 4 update, I believe it was, they made it so that you can sit in the gas for a decent amount of time. It deals less damage, and we have more HP now. So don't rush here. You can sit here for a second. You're okay. Now I'm going to run, grab the loadout really quick, and get into zone here and try to just find some cover to work off of. Only got one plate. My teammate is landing back here. He's going to pop down right in front of me here. And again, I just have to kind of play low here. I don't have plates. I don't have a lot of ammo. I just have to be smart here. So we are looking at zone. Zone is about to start moving here. This is going to be number 14. Never, ever, ever rotate late unless you have to. If you're absolutely forced, you're being held, that's one thing. But if you have the option, guys, you guys have got to rotate early here. And I'm honestly being slow here. I really waste a lot of time coming over this way. And I think in reality, I probably could have went and rotated earlier and made this easier. However, stick with my teammate. We're going up the stairs, and we're going to get 2 very crucial downs here. We get a team wipe as well, okay? So at this point, I'm like, okay, awesome. I can go up. I can get some loot. I can get some plates on. However, I don't know if you saw it. There was another guy at the top of the steps up here. So I'm not going to ego chow this. I have like 25 HP. I'm just going to run. But my teammate is going to go down, unfortunately. However, good thing is I did get a lot of plates in that. So I've got plates now. I've got a plate box I'm also going to throw down here. And here I am. Now I am again in a bit of a predicament because now I'm rotating late. I'm on the back of zone. Zone, another thing really quick here is zone does move a lot slower. They made some adjustments here, and these moving zones move way slower. So you can't early rotate like insane, but I still think it would be important to be on this early end of zone because there is a guy right here, and he could have held me very easily. Now, thankfully, I've got 2 smoke grenades, and I think he was getting shot at by some other people. So we're going to toss those down, and notice how I'm not running just dead to zone. I'm taking a lateral route kind of more to the left and working around, find some cover, play it off of, and then we keep moving. Now, thankfully, I was able to make it. Now that I'm in zone, my first thought process has to be, is there any late stragglers that I can hold? And we turn around and hello, there he is. Now, the crazy part about all this, and I apologize, my overlay was a little bit messed up here in blocking this. It's down to a 1v1. It is a 1v1 right now. Now, I will admit, I do not know this area of the map at all. I don't think I've fought over here very many times. I was a little bit lost here. I'm going to be very honest. Again, they've adjusted the zones here where these final zones are going to just close down on themselves a lot quicker than they used to. But they're pretty slow in how they close. So at this point, I have 0 idea where this guy is. Besides, I know he has to be above me somewhere because I've already cleared this low ground area. I am hearing some footsteps. And notice how I'm trying to center and just be slow. Trying to see where this guy could be. And here he is, climbing the ladder. I'm too late to switch, though. However, I just pre-aim. We don't move. I don't want to give an audio cue. We almost get him down. Almost. However, he's safe. Again, I'm still trying to pre-aim here. This is a very tough spot. He has the ultimate high ground on me, and I am all the way below him. However, this zone is going to close in, and eventually someone's going to have to make a move here. So I don't want to... It's going to come down to who makes the first mistake, sort of. I don't want to be that guy. So I'm just trying to pre-aim, see if he's going to peek. And he does peek, but notice how I wasn't aiming in the right spot. And because of that, I just kind of took the L and got out and reset that fight. So we run away to cover, plate. He tries drill charging me, but thankfully it doesn't make its way through. And now, number 15, our final mistake, or tip, whichever you want to call it. Don't choke, guys. Sometimes it comes down to simply hitting your shots and making the plays. I'm waiting to see, is this guy going to drop down on me? And the thing is I want to be the one that kind of makes the first move with how small this zone is going. So even though the zone's going to close right probably about here on this edge of this ledge, I'm going to make the aggressive move and try to get a shot on him. So I'm going to jump off this ledge here, and we're going to pre-aim right above me where he most likely is to be.
We're going to hit our shots. We're not going to choke. So there you go, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. If you did, consider leaving a like and subscribing to the channel for more tips, loadout videos, settings, all those things to get better at Call of Duty. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next one.